Hi, I'm Michael Biehn. You're listening to Chris Gordon
on Hellblazer Biz, and this is Jennifer Blanc-Biehn.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, listeners, wherever you are in the world right now. Well, today's interview needs no introduction. I had the pleasure of being able to do this as my first ever face-to-face interview at the hotel prior to Comicon. So, without further ado, I introduce to you the lovely Jennifer Blanc-Biehn and her husband, the legend Michael Biehn, Kyle Reese from Terminator, Corporal Hicks from Aliens, and together they run Blanc-Biehn Productions. So, take a seat and enjoy. Good evening, listeners. I have the proud privilege and honour to be sat here tonight with Michael Biehn and his wife Jennifer Blanc-Biehn. Good evening, guys.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. I really appreciate you coming and taking your time.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
I know it's been long trips and long weekend.
This is actually such a beautiful place to be doing this, and a very relaxing place for you.
Yeah, it is actually. I was going to mention it's a very nice hotel, very quiet, secluded, and a bit away from LA.
That's for sure.
I was thinking that this morning when he was so relaxed. I was like, this is a good rejuvenation.
Yeah. I can imagine life in LA is very hectic.
It has gotten so. It's just a lot more crowded now than it was, and it was always kind of crowded.
Yeah, it's very hectic, and it's I don't think that the overall feeling in the country is one of optimism.
Yeah.
It kind of feels very, I don't want to say angry, but kind of scared and self-protective. And everybody seems in a rush to be going nowhere, and it's a little bit odd. It's a little bit different than when I was growing up.
Fair enough. I can understand. I think in UK as well, we've got a similar sort of.
You do.
You're laughing at the music that they put on now. Okay, so first things first. Obviously, you're here for Wales Comicon this weekend, Michael. So are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I am. Jennifer and I have this company, and we're making grindhouse movies. I did a movie for Quentin Tarantino and Rodriguez,
nice.
And kind of got to know what grindhouse movies were. We used to just call them B movies.
Yeah.
They are very, very low budget, and they're usually horror films or they're very exploitive type of movies. I made the first one. I directed and made the first one. It was called The Victim, and we have a lot of sex. We have some action, a little bit of torture, a little serial killer. So they're all very, very kind of exploitive type of movies. And I did the first couple, and Jennifer worked on the first 3 or 4 as an actress and as an actor, just to kind of get the company off the ground. And now we're getting to a place where we're kind of just behind the scenes now. And,
there's like a few here and there that are special. Either the writer or the director is a special case where, if they really want us to be a part of it, or where Michael feels strongly about a story, that we'll do it. The idea now is to give other people an opportunity to direct, write, and star in them.
And when we were doing The Victim, we realized that the Comicons were a great place to show the movies, because that's kind of the wheelhouse of the people that like those type of movies anyway. So we would just come to these Comic-Cons and, throw a sheet up on the wall and say, come on in and watch, Every once in a while somebody would be a reviewer or this and that and get reviewed. And so it was a great way to, because once you make a movie, people don't realize it, but we came to find out after we made The Victim is once you make it, it's like, okay, well, how do you show? How do you get it out there? People, we had this big screening set up for all these different distributors, and the screening went off, and all our friends, and it was a really friendly crowd and everything, but none of the distributors showed up. So we ended up selling it to Anchor Bay, so it turned out okay and everything. But this is a great way to kind of promote our business.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know that from I talked to the guys who did Pandorica. It's a UK independent one, and that's how they did it as well. They've gone to Comic Cons, and so it's a brilliant. You're right, it's a brilliant way because you're grabbing that entire niche audience.
Yeah.
And actually, when you sign with a company like Anchor Bay, who's now, by the way, partnered with the Weinstein Company and Stars, and very corporate, unlike they used to be, probably because they're so corporate now. And the other companies, when you do sign with a company like that, they do all kinds of promotions at every Comic-Con because it's a great way for the movies to get attention, and they know their audience, and these people at the conventions, at fan conventions, are their main audience, and there's plenty of other people, but this is a really loyal audience, and so they do a lot of promotion through these kind of conventions. So we could, if a movie's getting distributed and we know that somebody's asked us to come to one of these, we could hook the distributor up with the Comic-Con, and they would supply them with all kinds of stuff, posters and fun stuff for people.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. It's a perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
I was saying it's they're so widespread as well. It's all over the globe now.
The globe for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So you're reaching probably the better audience than you could have ever done anywhere else. So it's really cool.
And you see the world too. It's interesting, because we might go to England, or we might go to Scotland, or we might go somewhere in our lives to work or film something, but a lot of times where we're promoting or where the show is somewhere a little bit more obscure, where we would never go and never see, and so it's kind of cool, to be able to get to those people too.
Well, yeah, definitely. I guess when you're filming, you're so focused, aren't you?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, that was a perfect. The reception and some of our best reviews even came out of this little place that we screened it in Louisville, Kentucky, where it was only half full, and but they loved it. They loved it. They had the best time. They were so grateful to have it there, and we took the time to answer their questions, and so. I was talking to another actor that a lot of actors now are coming out and meeting fans. I mean, it's a very, very smart thing to do now, with social media the way it is. One actor that I was talking to was talking about seeing the world and all these things, but also that their biggest thing for them is staying in touch with their fan base, and keeping those people connected. And so, because that person doesn't even do social media, which I'm surprised, but So I don't know. It's really cool, and it definitely gives us a chance to tell people about it. And most of the time, I see it pay off because I spend a lot of time on social media updating everybody, which on my personal life and my professional life. Mostly professional, but since I've had the baby, I'm a little obsessed with him. So it gets
understandable
blend together with the go see this movie. And by the way, isn't he cute? So, it's, I've noticed that we really have some loyal people. I mean, we're talking loyal. I can't even believe it. We just go to the end of the earth for us because we took the time to talk and chat and, talk about one of our movies and maybe hand them a copy or sign their copy, or they helped us at a show or something. And I just can't believe it. It's awesome.
It's a great thing. I think that's a feeling I get from a lot of the interviews that I do. The people come back and say the same thing. The response. But and from a fan's point of view, I'll echo that from the other side, and the fact that when you guys do relate to us, even if it's a Comic-Con, but just taking 2 minutes out of your time just to talk to us. Yeah. It's like I've grown up, seeing you on screen, and it's to actually have that time, like now, for example, to talk and taking time out. It builds your reputation up even more, I guess, because I'll now go out and I'll just tell people like you two are the loveliest people going, and you're so kind to take time out of your schedule here.
Well, that's the same thing people are doing for us with our movies. If we can do that for you with your podcast, it's the same thing. When Angus McFadden came on and wrote something and starred in it and had faith, in what we were doing, and he's in big movies like Cameron Crowe movies and movies with Ellen Burstyn and whatever. And he did our little production, and he's obsessed with it, and he's committed.
Yeah.
And William Forsythe is in Hidden in the Woods, and Tia Carrere is in there. And these people put their faith in us, and it's like, that boosts our reputation. So other actors go, oh, okay, well, these 5 people worked with them, so why don't I give it a shot and see how it goes for me? This is a cool script. And I would think it would be the same for press coverage, if you can go to somebody and go like, hey, so-and-so spoke to me, did you speak to me? I would bet you probably have 5 more people that will talk to you. So I think it's one hand feeds the other.
Oh, it is, definitely. I've got to admit, I do that at Comic Cons, because I'll go around and obviously I'll see guests I've spoken to. Yeah, people say, they're a bit short. I'll say, he's been on, she's been on. Go and speak to them, and I'll... cheeky, but it's a good way to get out there. So I'll be doing it tomorrow. I've got my business card, so I'll be doing it tomorrow as well. So.
That's how I do it. I mean, that's put out offers. It's been like, so we just finished with so and so and so and so and so and so. And anyway, we want to talk about your client. You got to put them in the position of like, oh, okay. It just opens people's eyes a tiny bit more when somebody who has a reputation has given you the chance. That's all.
Definitely.
And that's what we're doing for the directors, especially on these, because they're all new directors. Not necessarily young. Some are older, some are really super young. They're people who have not been given the opportunity to actually just direct a whole film. And they're actually getting that here. So.
And that is a fantastic opportunity. Like you say, it's a great opportunity for them to actually be involved and to get their name out as well. So. And to start their careers. Okay, so as you know, I've also got some questions from fans.
Okay,
which got sent in. I've had to wheedle some down.
Out and people have been going crazy.
Yeah, people, because it's obviously trying to get hold of it because people have just been trickling them through.
Yeah.
So I've managed to get them down to a few. Belle Gaudreau, she was on Twitter, and she has asked, "Does it feel like 30 years since Aliens was released?"
No. Not really. I mean, there has been so much attention around Aliens this year that with all the cast coming together and Jim and Gail coming along, and it almost feels like no time has passed at all, to tell you the truth, when we all get together.
You're all at San Diego Comicon, weren't you?
Yeah, we actually, we have a lot of fun, and I think it's like most people who have a friend, or you're good friends with them, and then they move away, and then, you don't see them for 10 years, and then then you see them, and then you're right back to where you were before. And this was a very, very kind of the cast really got along really well. Everybody, I always say that nobody ever said anything negative about anybody else, and everybody was working hard because they thought they had a chance to be in something special because Jim had done the Terminator, and the sets were incredible, and Sigourney and everything, and the script was incredible, so we were all pretty excited about being in it.
Fantastic. And I know you were at San Diego Comicon. I saw all you're all back together, so 30 years, like you say, when you've got good friends like that and that good relationship where you can be apart for so long and then you just merge back together again as no time's passed at all.
That's right.
That's a great way to have it. Which answers the other question. She had another question, was did you feel like a big family? So you kind of answered that anyway. You did. It was
you do when you get back together. Yeah, you do when you get back together again. It just feels kind of like you're about ready to go shoot a shot. Like, okay, we're back on the Alien set. Like, let's go to work. It's kind of what it feels like. You got the same group, the same people, the same. It's really, Aliens is a really special movie, and a lot of people love the movie, and for us to be able to get together and kind of celebrate it for the fans is special.
Yeah, cool. I will tell you, at Comic-Con there are some fantastic cosplays. One, they come as one as the Alien, and some actually come as Colonial Marines as well, so you'll probably feel rock right at home with those guys. They are they'll be brilliant. You'll see them tomorrow. I'm not going to show you a picture to ruin it, but they are fantastic. Right. I'm sure you've seen quite a few, but these are good guys. She's also asking another question, what's your take on Prometheus? The new one, the prequel.
I don't know anything about it. But except for the fact that,
not the old one, the
new one, the Prometheus one, the one that's just come out.
They were basically there was Prometheus, and then this is actually entitled
Alien Covenant.
Alien.
Yeah, it's the second one, isn't it? Yeah.
So I actually like Prometheus a lot. I think Ridley's obviously one of our best filmmakers, and